Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra-parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda-yogindra-matasya Sishyam Shri Shankaracharya-matasya Padma Padam cha hastamalakam cha shishyam tam todakam vartikakarmanyan asmadgurun santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananaamalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वसिष्ठान्ते वसदृषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितजन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम् स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे. Verse number 7 and 8. बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रताशितो ददा सर्वासवस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. Repeat after me. Vishwam pashyati karyakaranataya swaswami sambandhatah Shishyacharyataya tateva pitr Putradyatmanas vedatah Swapne jagradivaya esha purushah Maya paribhramitah Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Vishwam Pashyati Karyakaranataya Swaswami Sambandhatah Shishyacharyataya Tadeva Pitruputradhyatmana Vedatah स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. In the previous verse, we have seen that Pratyabhijna Pramanameva, recollection of the samskara created by the presence of consciousness in all conditions, Balya Adishu Sarva Avastasu Jagrat Swapna Ityadi, Balya Kaumara Vriddha Avastasu Abhi, Sarva Avastasu Vyavrittamanam Swayam Antaswayam Aham Idi Bhati Sada. So that which is there, Vyavrittasu Anuvartamanam Antah Parasparantam Sada Swatmanam Prakati Karoti. It itself, that very nature of consciousness itself will reveal itself as Dakshinamurti, to whom Bhajatam, Bhakti Purvakam Bhajatam, those people who are worshipping him with great devotion, Mudraya Bhadraya Prakati Karoti. Mudra is the hand symbol which is auspicious. Bhadra is an adjective to that. Bhadraya, Mudraya, Prakati Karoti, Swatmanam Prakati Karoti. So this is the nature of Dakshinamurti. Having thus explained, now in the 8th verse, as we are entering, Ullasa starts with a question. We'll read that, because in this particular verse, the conclusion is going to be arrived, because originally Dakshinamurti Ashtakam, it is only 8 verses. The last 2 verses are Palashruti, the result of this knowledge. The question arises in anybody's mind, would arise in anybody's mind, what does this knowledge lead us to? The Palam will be told later, but the Purvapakshi has the question, does it mean this knowledge will release us at once? Mukti is immediately taking Satyo Mukti hi bhavati va. Sadhyo Mukti means at once the release or the liberation. Yadi Mukti Sadhya Chet, if the release is at once, Tata Jivaha Asmin Dehat Pramuchyate. So then immediately this Jiva will become released from this physical body. Yati Nachet, if it is not that the Asmin Dehat na Praeti Jivaha, if the Jiva is not releasing from this physical body, then the physical body with which it has been functioning will continue to see the duality, continue to experience the world, which is non-dual, which is not non-dual, which is dual, which is variety, Maya Kritam. So, Vidyaya Prayojanam Kim Bhavati. What is the Prayojana of this Vidya if it is not going to give the result of Mukti, which is a release from the samsara? And samsara is unavoidable so long as one lives in this physical body. So, in that case, even a person of knowledge will continue to exist as a conditioned jiva only then. So now this question would arise, kim prayojanam vidyayaha? This vidya, this knowledge, jnanena kim prayojanam? I will see this. Ullasa begins with this kind of a question. Prakasha vyatirekena padartha kopi nasti chet paramarthopadeshanto vyavahara katam bhavet. Prakasha vyatirekena, atma vyatirekena, atmanaha prakasha vyatirekena. Without the light of consciousness, kopi padartha na asti chet. Other than the pure light of consciousness, which is Dakshinamoorty himself, according to Advaita Vedanta, na kopi asti. Nothing else is there, because everything is ultimately sarvam kalu yidam brahma. Brahmanaha anyat na kinchidasti. Brahmana swarupam chideva. Chidatmakam eva sarvam prakasha rupam. Therefore, prakasha vyatirekena, antarena, padartha vishayaha kopi nasti. Padartha nasti, vishaya nasti. Achet, in case. In that case, paramartha upadeshantaha. Up to the end of this advice or the upadesha from the Guru, a sadhaka had to live until the enlightenment is complete. Vyavaharaha katam bhavet. Then, kaise vyavahar hoga uska is jagat mein. In this world, what would be a transactional experience for that person? This is the question raised by the Purva Pakshi very appropriately, which is very often asked to people, because many of the traditions have, all the religious traditions have moksha as deha padanat urdvameva na asmin dehe vasambhavati. Always they say mukti is after the end of this physical body only, and not during the time of existence in the body. But Advaita Vedanta holds the view, Jivan neva muktihi sambhavati jnanat. Due to knowledge, the liberation is possible while living in this body itself. If that is the case, how the vyavahara will be there. Idanim uktasya eva sarva shastrarthasya upasamharartha uttara shlokaha. The uttara shloka is sarva shastra arthasya upasamhara. This is the conclusion of the entire teaching of this scripture here. Prakasha vyatirekena iti. Vastugatya kalatreye api chit prakasha vyatirekena kopi padartha bhuta bhautika rupaha nasti chet. If other than the consciousness, there is no, there was no, there will be no. Bhuta, bhautika. Now, nothing of this world, of either matter or living being, other than the consciousness is, tada paramartha upadeshanto guroho tattvajnana grahana upadeshat prak. So, whatever has been experienced until the upadesha, vyavaharaha samsara rupaha kim alambanaha syad iti arthaha. What will be the support of this sadhaka? If he comes to realize that other than consciousness there is nothing else, what would be his vyavahara swarup? Vyavahara yogyatvam. Why? What is the problem? Anybody would ask. Huh? So a teacher, a person who has not studied correctly will say, no, it is no, what's the problem? Knowledge is there. No, no, let me clarify my question. So further he says, Kasya bandhascha mokshascha badhyate kena hetuna mayaya lakshanam kim syat ityevam paripruchatah प्रश्नस्यादुत्तरं वक्तुं प्रतिपत्तुं सुखेन च उक्तोऽर्थः सप्तभिः श्लोकैः पुनः संक्षिप्य कथ्यते कस्य बन्धः. If consciousness alone is one without a second, who is bound here? मोक्षः कस्य, किसके लिए वो मोक्ष है? To whom is this bandhanam? For whom is this moksha? Mokshascha kasya badhyate? Kena hetuna badhyate? But what reason there will be bondage? Mayaya lakshanam kim? What is this nature of Maya then? Kim syat iti evam paripruchatah. In this way, when it is being questioned, first one he asked what? Vyavaharha kadam bhavet, number one. Bandhanam kasya. Bandha kasya. To whom is the bandhanam? Moksha kasya badhyate. Who is being bound by who is getting the moksha? Kena hetuna badhyate. Sorry, moksha kasya and kena hetuna badhyate. By what reason a person will feel bound? What is the nature of Maya? Mayaya lakshanam kim sya iti evam paripruchatah. Prashnah syad uttaram vaktum. To this question or set of questions, uttaram vaktum, to speak or reply to such a question, pratipattum sukhena cha, to understand it easily, ukta arthaha saptami shlokaihi, by these 7 verses, whatever is spoken in essence, punaha, again, sanshipya, in brief, katyate, is being spoken. So in brief is going to give the essence of the 7 verses to make it easy to understand. So na kevalam etavat anyat api asti durghatam ityaha. So the further explanation on that. Bandha abhave kasya mokshaha iti api. So if there is no bondage, then who is getting released? Bandha nivritti rupatvat tasya ityartha. Because the purpose of this entire process is to bandha nivritti. But if there is no bondage, then what is this moksha, or who is this getting released, or what is this release supposed to be? Edat sarvam maya mayam vidhi chet. If you consider, if you think, or if say, that what we are seeing, everything is nothing but an illusion created by Maya, tarhi kim lakshana sa, then of what nature is this Maya? Iti vaktavyam, this is to be spoken. So, iti evam paripruchatah prashnah syat bhavet iti. Etasya prashnasya uttaram vaktum guruna shishyena cha sukhena pratipattum. For the sake of the student to easily understand, to be spoken by the Guru, Purvam Saptabhimihi Slokaihi Ukta Arthaha, again the 7 verses, whatever is spoken there, पुनः अस्मिन् अष्टमे श्लोके संक्षिप्य कथ्यते इति योचना. So in brief, it is going to be spoken in the 8th verse. Now, don't you think it is too much? 7 verses we have already read it for 2 years, I think. Now you are going to speak about it again on the same thing. So then he said the repetition is unavoidable here. Because when it is not understood clearly, it is necessary for this teacher not to get very agitated that you having spoken so much and you didn't understand. It's interesting, in one of the Upanishads, after spoken everything, the last part, the Guru asks, so, okay, so what, do you have any questions to ask? The student says, yes. What is it you want to know? Upanishadam bruhi bo. Now tell me about the Upanishads. The teacher must be very wild at that point. What is that I spoke all this while? What do you think? So here, unavoidable is repetition. Therefore it is said, Paunarukyam na doshotra Shabdena artena va bhavet Abhyasena gariyastvam Artasya pratipadyate. It should be pratipadyate, but it's Arsha Prayoga, it's understandable. Paunaruktyam punah katanam. Again and again speaking about it, it's called Paunarukyam. Paunarukya dosha is there, meaning one of the rules in the Shastra is absence of repetition if it is not warranted. One cannot keep on repeating the same thing again and again. But it is unavoidable circumstances where the questions are raised, then certain ideas or points which are spoken earlier again must be spoken, either with the same words or with the same intent or same conveying the same message. In Bhagavad Gita also many times you will see Arjuna asking similar questions only. Siddha prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. He asked second chapter itself. The 14th chapter will say Kairalingaistin Gunan Bhabad Kirin Gnan Aditya Bhagavati Prabho. He will ask the same question only in a different way. So how is that a Gunatita Purusha will be crossing over the influence of 3 gunas? So many places you will, and Bhagavan also would say that I'm going to tell you some great secret. Same thing only. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Vidamattamam. And he will say suddenly, Yajñātva sarvavidam vijñātam bhavati. So Yajñātva punar namoham prapsyasi. It's the same thing you will say in a different way. But this is na dosha. That's why I say Paunarukyam na dosha atra. Why? Because Shabdena artena va bhavet. Shabdena, same words can be used or same meaning might be intended. Reason is Abhyasaina gariyaha. So it is definitely something which is gariyaha, deep. What? Gariyastvam artasya pratipadyate. Only by repetition, abhyasa, the correct understanding will take place. So that is the reason why it is spoken again. Tatrabi ashesha shastra artascha chet saptami shlokaihi nirnitaha tada punaha katanam nirartam iti ashankya aha. Why it is spoken already in 7 verses, again speaking is useless? No. Atra asmin shastre paunarutyam na doshaha pratipatya vastunah adisukshmatvena sakrada eva dur adigamatvat, difficult to understand. Sakradeva, quickly, instantly to understand is not possible. Especially our mind is impure, the teacher has to repeat again and again. Because the impurity of the mind does not catch the content or the message easily. Because mind is distracted, mind is not pure, it is trying to interpret what is spoken, inattentiveness, unable to practice, unable to grasp the real import of it. Doubt would be there, faithlessness can be there, vasanas may distract. So many things are possible. So, therefore, arthasya brahmatma vastunah gariyatvam shruti tatparya gocharatvam. Gariyatvam is Shruti tatparya gocharatvam. The ability to comprehend what is spoken in the Shruti is being very deep. It is not very subtle also, not difficult. So therefore it is difficult to comprehend. Therefore it is again to be repeated. All right. Now, the question raised by the Purvapakshi or the student, for which as an answer, this 8th verse, what did he say? Last line remaining the same, Tasmai Shri Guru Murti Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurti. This Dakshinamurti, who is also Guru Murti, is none other than the Antaryami Surupa Paramatma Jiva Rupena Sarvasmin Hridaye Sada Vasati. It is the very self, inner self, which is in the form of Jiva, remaining in everybody's heart. While it is assuming the nature of the Jiva, it is Maya Paribramitaha, apparently. Mayaya Paribramitaha, apparently deluded by Maya. Apparently, again the understand. Iva, Paribramitaha Iva. Who? Yesha Purushaha. Yesha Purushaha, Yesha Jivaha. Purushaha means Puri, one who is remaining in the Puri. Puri Shete idi Purishaha. Purushaha. Puri means in the Dehe. Shete remains, abides, living. That's why Girisha, the word Bhagavan Vishnu's, Girisha, you know the word, it's one of the 108 names of Shivais. Girishaya Namaha, Girishaya Namaha, twice it will come. So many people think it's a printing error. No, it's not a printing error. Girisha and Girisha are two different names. Girisha means Giri Shete, one who resides in the Giri. It's called Girisha. One who is the Ishvara of the Giri is called Girisha. So Girishaya Namaha, Girishaya Namaha. Another meaning is also there. Gir means walk, speech. Tasya Isha. Gir Isha. So that also Gir Isha, Girisha. So Araswa. It's not Girisha, Girisha. So she is Shete. So Puri Shete, Tasmat Purushaha. So Yesha Purushaha, Yesha Jivaha, Maya Paribramitaha. Mayaya Paribramitaha. He is the one who is being deluded by Maya. Therefore, this very same Dakshinamurti, whose nature is Brahmaswarup only, presently experiencing the state of delusion due to Maya residing in this physical body. Therefore, he will behave as a relative entity. Therefore, such a jiva Vishwam Pashyati, first line. He, such a jiva Pashyati, sees what? Vishwam, Vishwam Jagat. The world he perceives. How does he see? Karya Karanataya. Oh, Vishwa in the form of that which has cause and effect. Karya, effect. Karana, cause. So, Karya Karanataya Pashyati. Karyam is the effect that is perceived, and Karana itself is appearing as an effect. But when we look at things, we do not see the cause, we only see the effect. We see the tree and not the seed. Even though without the seed there cannot be a tree or a plant, but we don't see the tree, plant, the seed itself. So we assume that should be a seed, a karanam should be there. And the world being variety, we think varieties of karana would be there. So this is how Maya makes us perceive the variety. Karya karanataya swami sambandhatah, as the one Swami and Bharta. But what to call the Swami, meaning owner or a master, then a servant, a sevaka, a dasa. Swami and dasa rupena, somebody having wealth, somebody being a servant. Swaswami sambandhatah shishya acharyataya. Or in the form of Shishya and Acharya, as a student and a teacher. Tata eva, and also Pitru, Putra, Adi, Atmana, oneself as Pitru, father, the son, Bedataha, Bedena, in the form of such many differences, Pashyati, Vishwam Pashyati. When Sopane, in the state of dream, Jagradiva, or in the state of waking, Esha Purushaha Vishwam Pashyati Maya Paribhramidaha. That very Purusha is Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namahitam. Here the underlying main point is such a Purushaha Swarupataha Paramatma Eva Atra Asmin Kale Asmin Samaye Maya Paribhramidaha Iva Purushaha Jivaha Vishwam Sarvam Vividarupam Pashyati. And that way he, such a jiva, is engaging in the transactional world. So, ya esha purushaha karyakarana bhavena swami brityu bhavena britya bhavena va Shishya acharyataya va tada pitru putra matru dahitru matula swashura adi atmana va. In the form of karya and karana, which I explained, either cause and effect or effect and cause. Swami, Bharta, Britya, the master and the servant, Bhavena va, Shishya acharyataya va, as a disciple and the guru, or father, mother, son, daughter, Duhitra, Kalatra, Bhratra, then Matula, uncle, Shwasru, father-in-law, mother-in-law, all this way. Yena kenabi prakarena, in some way or the other, Deva tiryang manushyadi rupena cha, in the form of Deva as a divine being, or tiryang as an animal, or manushya, adi rupena vedata, vedavattaya swapne jagradiva vishwam pashyati. One perceives this in the world of waking or dream. Mayaya, anadi anirvachaniyaya ajnanatmikaya paribhramitaha. being deluded by this. Now the one question would come is, so Ishvara also can be deluded, huh? What a power she has. So it is his own power, but it deludes him completely. Yes, you are right. To explain a situation, we need to accept this possibility. Really it is there or not, that is a different question. Really, if it is there, then it is something which is of concern. But when it appears to be so, then we can, to explain that situation or a predicament, we need to accept the possibility of Maya apparently deluding the Ishvara himself. Mohitaha achadya vikshipta sun, having veiled the original nature and projecting. Vikshipta means projection. Vikshipta sun, na paramartataha iti. Not really. Not really one is. As I gave the examples of a person lying down on the bed and dreaming, at the same time, two things are happening. The dreamer, one who is part of the dream, suffering or experiencing, etc., at the very same time is lying down on the bed, nothing is happening. Is it simultaneous or not? At the same time, if you take a picture of that person lying down, there is nothing happening. But if you get into his mind, everything is going on. Akarmani akarmaya pashyet. Akarmani. No action at all taking place. And that akarta atma lying down. But all karmas are going on there only. So at the same time, there are two entities apparently. One is the lying down person. Another one is the dreamer who is very actively engaged there. So which one is true? It depends upon the standpoint, right? Whom are you looking at? Are you looking at the lying down person? There's nothing is happening. If you're looking at as a dreamer, many things are happening there. So also, Swarupataha Paramatma na karta na bhokta Atmaswarupaha Paramatma sada swasmin neva tishtati. Staying by itself. But at the same time, from the standpoint of the world, is a Vyavaharika Purusha, is a transactional entity. So, Tasmai Pratyagrupaya Tattvajnana Nivritta Maya Vibhramaya Sri Gurumurtaye iti Ukta Artham. So, that Gurumurti, Dakshinamurti, who is untouched by Maya lying there, to that I salute. So this is what is. So further notes here says, very interesting one. Yadyapi paramartataha brahma vyadiriktam kimapi nasti eva. Other than Brahman, there is nothing there. Nehana nasti kinchana ityadina shrutya nishedat, being completely negated, that other than that, na iha nana asti kinchana in Kathopanishad, there is nothing called many. Tatapi anadi anirvachya avidya vashat, due to the control of the beginningless nature, indefinable, undefinable, indescribable Maya, Mudha eva brantaha, being as a one who is completely deluded, jivaha prapancham bahubeta binnam pashyati, one who is seeing the world which is of variety. Nidra paravasha iva, it is like a person who is completely in the tamasic condition, is under the spell of tamas, is sleeping. Right? In the same way, as though there is anadi nidra, Beginningless sleep. A person who is beginningless sleep, he does not know when it all began. Sleeping for a long time. That is the nature of Jiva right now. Beginningless time he is under the Vasha of Maya. Nidra Paravasha Iva Aneka Vidam Swapnam Pashyati. Also, he perceives a world of its own. Tasya cha vastutah brahmaiva santam, even though Brahman alone is, Atmanam Nikila Anartha Sankulaya Mayaya Brahmyataha, being which is a terrible nature of Maya, being deluded, Swabhranti Siddha Guru Shastra Nyayadipya Vidya Utpattau, having thus in the process gained the knowledge of the self with the help of the Guru, etc., avidya swatmana nivartade. By himself, because of this knowledge, he removes the ajnanam with the help of the Guru Upadesha, etc. Nidranasya eva swapna vyagradarshana samupajadam bayena prabuddhasya swapnaha. Like a person, this example is given beautifully. In the dream, there is one Vyagra, a tiger. In that tiger, chasing him. And out of fear, he wakes up. Now, when he wakes up, he would definitely thank the tiger. Why? Because without the tiger, he would not have woken up. If everything was going well, he would not wake up. Because of the tiger, he got so afraid. He was running, and then out of absolute fear, he woke up. In the same way, here, tataha samsaran muktaha swaswarupe satchidanandatmani niradishya mahatva sampannaha eva ramamanaha avatishtate. So thus thereafter, when he wakes up, then he would come to enjoy its original nature, Satchidananda Atmani. So it is said in one of the Sarvajnanatma Munibihi, Tasmat Brahma Vidyaya Jiva Bhavam Prapya Stitva Tavaketu Swarupe Swachitena Spanditam Vishwajatam Akashati Vishwabhakadishamavasanam chapashye Sviya avidya kalpita acharya veta nyayadipya jayate tasya vidya janma dvasta mohasya tasya sviye srupe avastitihi swaprakashe iti. So it is being quoted here. Tasmat Brahma avidyaya jivavavam prapya stitva tavaketu swarupe. That very Brahman itself is assuming the nature of the jiva at this present point. Swachittena spandidam vishwajatam. The world that is created is nothing other than the movement of his own mind. Akashadi Shama avasanam. From Akasha space onwards up to the Shama, that is earth. Avasanam chapashye. Then interesting thing he says is Sviya avidya kalpita acharya veda nyayadipya. This is a very interesting point. These teacher, Shastra, Veda and all that are created for him to get out of this delusion in the state of ignorance. So, obviously, just like the tiger is part of the dream only, right? Which make him get out. So also the Guru, the Upadesha, the Shastra, Patanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Sarvamapi Avidya Kalpitam. Swiya Avidya Kalpita Acharya Veda Nyayadipyaha Jayate Tasya Vidya. Vidya api Jayate Avidya Bhumau. In the state of ignorance only, when he is struggling to get this knowledge, so Vidya Janma Dvasta Mohasya Tasya. When that Vidya, which is happening because of that particular situation, when it is avidya has become destroyed, self cancels itself. Similarly, the tiger that is chasing him, when he wakes up, the tiger also won't be there. Swapna also won't be there, right? The dream tiger wakes him up and it also becomes part of the dream and disappears. Otherwise, he will wonder, wake up. Where is that tiger which actually woke me up? You won't find it. Then you realize that, oh, so स्वप्न का बात है. वो tiger भी स्वप्नस tiger only. It is a dream tiger only. But you would thank it. You will be definitely thankful to that tiger. Swarupe avastitihi. So, tataha sarvasya paramartataha brahma matratve api. Even though, really speaking, there is only Brahman, maya vashat bhrantya sarvam upapadyate. Because of this illusion, everything else is experienced. Karyam, that is Janyam, Karanam, Janakam, Swam, Guru Kshetra Dhanadi, Griha Kshetra Dhanadi, all this. Swami, Tadwan, Swam, Swaswami means, Swa means all the various possessions. It need not be the Dasa and Swami and Dasa. It can be Vittam and Vittaha, Vitta or Dhanam or Dhanavan. So, Swa means whatever Dhanam or wealth that he has, and Swami means one who has the wealth. So, Griha Kshetra Dhanadi Swam, Swami Tadwan, Devadatta Ityadi, Shishyaha Vidya Grahanartam Vidivat Gurum Upasannaha. Who is a Shishya? One to, for the sake of knowledge, one who has approached the teacher. Acharyaha Vidya Upadeshta, one who is the giver of this knowledge. Pita Nishekta. Putra Nishekta means one who installed the or placed the seed in the mother's womb. Nishekta. Then Putraha Tat Shukra Sambhavaha, one who is born out of that very semen. Ityadi Rupena. Ityadi Rupena Vishwam Yaha Pashyati Tasmai Namaha Iti Sambandha. All these are all in the avidya bhumau alone. Oh, understood. So, your question is what? If there is one limitless consciousness alone, one without a second, where is this question of vyavahara? The vyavahara is valid and accepted in the state of delusion until one wakes up, and it is unavoidable so long as one is still holding on to Dehatma Bhava. And even as the dawn of knowledge takes place, slowly there will be release from all these things, as even avidya becomes completely destroyed through the knowledge gained in the same Vishwa which he perceives. Just like the tiger of the dream. So continuing there in the next verse, which says, Swayam prakashe sadrupe Apyekasmin parameshware Karyakarana sambandhat Anekavita kalpana Raho shirassushiskasya mamatma pratima vapuhu ityadi kalpana tulya na pratak vastu gochara. Sadrupe swayam prakashe, that nature of the pure existence which is self-luminous. Ekasmin, which is one, Parameshware, in that Parameshwara, Karya Karana Sambandhat, due to the perception of cause and effect relationships, Aneka Vida Kalpana, of there is a perception of or imagination of merriness. Because the science always trying to question that if I see something, which I perceive something, that particular object must have similar kind of or having features of the same which I perceive in the cause also. So cause alone will have the characteristics which will be expressed in the karya, in the effect. And since the effect is variety, karana is also variety. That is their conclusion. So varietiness of the world cannot be, or it's not questioned by the science at all. They would not accept one cause causing so much different things. But then slowly they are coming to the singularism, slowly, how the singularity can perhaps create the multiple universe. But at this point of time, it is not easily provable. So they are still working on the possibility of one cause causing the whole cosmos. But here Vedanta establishes that very clearly. Ekasmin bahuvida kalpana. In one alone there is imagination. So the science does not consider the world is an imagination. That is for sure. So they say it is real. So therefore they have to want a real reason why it happened. So when you consider the world as real and the variety as real, then the cause is also real, and how the real cause can create real such variety of effects. Whereas Vedanta says variety is kalpitam. Variety is imagined, but reality is only one. So if you look at the variety as real, then you have to look for varieties of causes. When you understand the variety is imagined, then the one can appear as many. Now, example is given here as Rahoho Shira. So Rahu, as you know, the story in our Indian tradition, that's Rahu has consumed the Amritam. By mistake, he was given. He appeared in between Chandra and Surya, sat down, and while being served, the Amritam is served to him also, but he took. But then when Vishnu has she realized, he appeared as a woman there, and when she realized that this is not a devata, it's only a rakshasa who's appearing there, he cut off here. So head remained immortal, body became absent. So this head, when it consumes, it the other way it comes out. Because it cannot take it in, no, there's nothing to take, because it puts in the mouth. That's called eclipse, right? When the sun or the moon is being consumed, and then the other side will come out. So Raho Shira Iva, which has really is not happening, it appears to be there, appears to be consumed by Rahu. It's not true. Similarly, Kasya Sushihi. Ka means space. What is space? It's a huge hole. Nothing but a huge blank thing. Sushi means a hole, an aperture, a large aperture, whole of the sky. Then Mama Atma, what you considered as me as the individuality. What is nothing but Pratima Vapuhu, body which is only an image. Pratima. Ityadi kalpana tulya. This way, the whole experience of the world as karya karana sambandha is kalpana tulyaha na pritak vastu yugochara, and they are not different objects that are really seen. The world is not really there. It is appear to be seen like that of consuming of the sun or the moon by the Rahu, or the sky which is considered as a huge hole, etc. So, श्लोक व्याख्यां प्रतिजानीते अस्य अयम् अभिसन्धिरिति एकस्मिन्नेव अखण्ड आनन्द चिदात्मनि यावत् विद्यया अविद्या उपोह्यते, if then with the knowledge the avidya has not yet been destroyed, tavat, until then, sarvo vyavaharaha, all transactions, sarvo vyavaharaha avidya maya avyaktam ityabhidana abhideya anadi anirvachaniya ajnana vilasita prapancha alambana na virudyate. So until that knowledge completely destroys the avidya, all these things, maya, avyaktam, abhidana, abhideya, what is to be known, what is known, etc., then anirvachaniya, indescribable, ajnana, vilasita prapancha alambana, supported or supported by this world, na nirudyate, it is not contradictory at all to such a person. But in a common man, if you say the world is unreal, he will say, first of all, you are unreal. He will not accept the world as not real. So, ekam api anekata vyavahara aspatam bhavati iti atra drishtantam aha. Ekam api, even though one, anekata vyavahara aspatam, it appears to be an abode of a variety of transactional realities. What are those? Akashasya sushihi, space, which is nothing but whole, chitram, pradima vapuhu, pradimayaha shariram, drishtantamaha raho iti evam adi kalpana tulya karya karana rupena prapancha veda kalpana cha. So it is therefore this entire prapancha is of that kind of imagination, na tattvataha pratak vastu vishesha ityartha. It is not another thing that is there. It is one itself is appearing in different way. It is like the rope appearing as snake are not there two things. Snake is not another thing that is there upon that rope or next to the rope, or it is there and it went away. No. It is itself, one alone is there. And rope alone is the snake appearance. And one is not known, other is projected. When the projection is gone, the real thing remains, and the projected one is unknown to be something which has appeared temporarily. In the same way, all these relationships are karya karana sambandha, pitru putra, swaswami sambandha. All these are all of the same kind, one alone assumed to be the many. So we'll see more of it in the next session. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.